Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 6th to the 12th of September 2021. So we start the week with the dark moon in Virgo, as we've got a new moon on Monday night at 01:51 UK time, so between Monday and Tuesday. So as we know, the dark moon is a time to let go, and the real feeling for this new moon in Virgo is to be absolutely resolute in your clarity, to let go of repetitive thoughts that don't serve you. And a really good trick here is to write them down. If you can notice when you're feeling agitated and just write down what your mind is saying, you may find that it's saying the same thing on loop all the time because it's afraid that you're going to forget or not pay attention. But there's a great sense of mental peace when we write something down and attend to it at a different time, when we're in a stronger or more perceptive mood rather than caught up in the emotion. But it's really quite an amazing practice, and you'll realise that you've actually been saying on repeat the same thing over and over again. Once you capture it, once you attend to it, then you can question whether that's actually still relevant, your thought to begin with, coming from an old behaviour, etc. So there's a feeling here on the dark moon, before we get to the new moon, of being able to cancel repetitive thoughts, free our mind, correct ourselves into central alignment, and start to use our mind for what it's meant for. So my series, Transcending the Negative Mind, you may want to go and have a look at the Virgo video, because there's other tips and tricks in there, as Virgo can be a very mental sign. So we start the week with some mental clearing, and then there's going to be a gaining of centre, truth, perception, alignment, right alignment that comes in as we go from the new moon in Virgo to the very powerful full moon in Pisces on the autumn equinox, when we can then rinse out our cellular baggage, the damage that those negative thoughts have done. Thoughts, beliefs, behaviours accumulated over time are captured in our cells, and we can carry around quite a heavy weight. So we're heading from the new moon in Virgo to clear the mind, to get that right perspective, and then towards that rinsing and cleansing of the Pisces full moon at the time of the autumn equinox. And combined, these are actually crying freedom and sovereignty. So we're in a year that's very Aquarian, and once we start to put our mind to something that is valuable, discernment, research, deep communication of eternal truth, then we have a transcendental feeling when we've got out of our own story. There's a phrase that's come up this week, which I quite like. When it comes to discernment and communication, I would rather have a question that can't be answered than an answer that can't be questioned. Now, if we think about that in the context of the times that we're living in, some of you may have noticed that there's quite a lot of tension and aggression around people having different points of view or different perceptions. Some people having done a lot of research and other people taking on the mainstream narrative. So I thought that phrase was quite appropriate as we come into this new moon in Virgo. So there's a lot going on this week. There's so many different layers to this new moon. We start with the Sun and Moon trine Uranus. So trine is a harmonic aspect, which means that this Sun and Moon are in harmony with Uranus. Uranus is spending 7 years in the heartfelt sign of Taurus. We're about in the middle of that journey now, and that's deconditioning our emotional programming so that we can come to real feeling and self-worth and self-love as well. So a lovely harmonic there, Sun, Moon, trine, Uranus. We can set intentions for mental clarity and conscious awareness. So we really are stepping into our true essence and a whole new way of being. All the outer planets are retrograde now and above the horizon at this new moon. So as we head towards the back to school feeling, then maybe have a look with that Uranian perception. What can we unlearn? We've been taught so much stuff that's not true. And to get to the truth, we need to unlearn the falsities. And that takes a great flexible of mind and maturity of character. But maybe we could dedicate this back to school year and unlearning what we thought we knew and relearning the truth. We also have Jupiter trine Venus. So Jupiter expands and Venus is the heart. So we're expanding the broadcast frequency that we're transmitting. What we hold dear in our hearts can now have a cleared passage to be transmitted far and wide. So obviously that takes a clean heart, deconditioned and pure. We've got Mars trine Pluto. And Mars and Pluto are both rulers of Scorpio, the dying to the old and rising up the power to be reborn to the new. So we've got the potential here to dig deep, discover the mysteries of our world, the deeper subjects, the alchemy, our power to heal and transcend. So hugely helpful energy there with Mars trine Pluto, both in deep earth signs. So that's 3 different layers just to this new moon before we even start to look at the 2-week window, which I was just speaking about towards the Pisces full moon, and that mental emotional cleanse. We've also got Mars opposite Neptune. Mars is coming into opposition with Neptune at the beginning of next week. And that's your transcendental then. Mars will pierce into and through the veils of Neptune, the illusions and delusions, the heavy weighted emotion, and possibly even some addictive behaviours can be thoroughly cleansed with this opposition. It does happen every year, but in combination with everything else that's going on at the moment, then we're once again being given this divine step-by-step guide. So a transcendental energy and a purging there for those that wish to raise their frequency next week when Mars opposes Neptune, but is already in the mix of this new moon. By Tuesday, Wednesday, we're also looking at stepping into the first invisible phase of Mercury retrograde. So most people focus on the phase where Mercury is actually retrograde in that second phase, but the first phase is awareness. So from now until around the 27th of September, Mercury is going through those degrees of Libra. We're in the sign of Libra: peace, love, harmony, inspiration, music, creativity and flow. So watch out for, or listen out really, because to me Libra reminds me of the middle ear canal, the balancing system of the body, and our ability to take in frequencies and to be able to listen to them, appreciate sound and create sound. So the first phase from now until the 27th, keep your ears open. Can you tune in, literally tune in to the energies and frequencies that are around you, to your intuitive side with Neptune in the mix. And by Wednesday, Thursday, the moon will meet with Mercury, so we're looking at our intuition and tuning in to be able to hear what our soul is calling us towards, what's really being said, what's whispered on the breeze, and what's slightly beyond our normal hearing range. So lots of harmonious energy there to Pluto with the earth signs and to Jupiter with the air signs, and this is calling forth deep knowledge. I feel some of this will be essential and groundbreaking. But if we can be firm in our convictions, strong in our mind, and value what's right, then this really is a bit of a coronation energy that's going on this week. And as we start to become more sovereign, we act from a more sovereign place. So by Thursday, I feel that once again, last week, look at your daily energy and value it. So we're crossing over now from struggle to ease, from working to creating, and from stress to peace. But consider your lifestyle your choice. You're able to create now, as we've been rescued from the rat race last year. And now, instead of rushing back to put all of those old structures in place, have a really good look at what you value, where you're coming from, how you're living, and making that transition from the difficult to the easy, from the old to the new. By Friday we have Venus moving into Scorpio, so we've got some more watery energy coming in there. And I feel this is going to be potent and pulsing. There's a very powerful wave of positive change building up to a crescendo like a tsunami, and we'll probably really be able to feel that by the weekend.